Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors meeting. It's Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. Call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence tonight to think of the family of Alan Rubenstein, former resident of Holland, district attorney for Bucks County, and a judge in Bucks County. He's a longtime supporter of many community events here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. We have a lot on the agenda tonight. It was nice to see everybody. Just a couple housekeeping items. So there's two opportunities for public comment this evening. The first opportunity for public comment is for agenda items only. And if you're interested in making a public comment on one of the agenda items, please sign up on the sheet in the back. The second opportunity for public comment is at the end of the meeting, and that can be on any subject you'd like to speak to the board about. And again, please just sign in on the back, and I'll, for both public comment periods, I'll call your name and recognize you. Please just come to the microphone. So with that, I'd like to start and ask, is Jenny Esposito here? Hello. Jenny Esposito is a representative of the Northampton Day Committee, and she's going to give us an update on the upcoming event.
Good evening. My name is Jenny Esposito, and I am here tonight with some of my fellow committee members who are here in the room to invite our community to the 27th Annual Northampton Day Festival. This year's event will be held Sunday, September 14th at 98 Upper Holland Road, the site of the old Richboro Middle School. We will kick off the day with our flag raising at 10 a.m. and the festivities will end at 4 p.m. We are not affiliated with the Northampton Township government, but we are very grateful for the support that we receive from the Township Administration, first responders, and our Public Works Department. Northampton Day is a 501c3 organization who sponsors the festival each year with the goal of furthering community spirit, as well as to provide a showcase for local talent, highlight small businesses, and offer free family entertainment. We have over 110 vendors signed up for our event. Our talent show is a huge hit every year with cash prizes. And we have a great array of food trucks attending, as well as an all-day slate of entertainment that includes the Greater Kensington String Band, the Barn Nature Center, Northampton Police K-9 and Fire Department demonstrations, Fitzpatrick Irish dancers, a choral performance by one of our elementary schools, Northampton Indians Cheer Squad. New this year will be a kids' cupcake decorating competition, an appearance from a magical unicorn courtesy of Barclay Farms, and back after a long absence, we will have Belgian horse hay rides, Northampton Park and Recreation Kids Marketplace, which provides an opportunity for community youth to create and sell homemade crafts. This is a great project for our future entrepreneurs, and this aspect of our festival grows more each year. Giant Pharmacy will be on hand between 10 and 1, providing COVID and flu shots free of charge. Remember to bring your Medicare, pharmacy, and medical insurance cards. Also free of charge will be inflatables, a pirate ship, and a rock wall bungee jump for the kids. Our raffle table brings in much excitement each year. A few examples of what we have to offer, including a Saquon Barkley signed helmet, Kyle Schwarber signed baseball, a big screen TV, and much more. There is a second and very important aspect of our organization, which is that of our philanthropic arm. Each year, we provide 2 scholarships to graduating high school seniors who have volunteered at a Northampton Parks and Rec event. In addition, last year, we also donated $500 to each PTO of every Council Rock elementary and middle school in our township. We also donated $15,000 to local nonprofits such as Council Rock Coalition for Healthy Youth and Autism Cares. We are so grateful for all the support we have received over the years, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention our sponsors, without whom we would not be able to continue this great community event. At platinum level, we have Gasper Landscape and Design and Team Toyota. Gold level, B. Blair Corporation, Bowman Company, JAG Physical Therapy, National Maintenance and Build Out Co., Global Affinity, and Whitetail Disposal. And at silver level, we have One SEO Digital Agency, Cordisco and Sale, Northampton Indians, Twining Construction, First National Bank of Newtown, Gilmore and Associates, and Schwartz Culleton Ferris Law. We will have handicap parking available at the Senior Center. And for more information, you can visit our Facebook page or our website, which is www.northamptonday.fun. And we hope to see you on Sunday, September 14th for this fantastic annual community event. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. As everyone knows, Northampton Day is just a fantastic, fun day, so try to make it out there. Next up, we have a proclamation recognizing Parks and Recreation Professionals Month. Kim's going to do that? I guess we're going to go down.
Shall we go down? Sure.
All right.
Don't be afraid.
All right.
I'll be strong, don't worry.
I do want to talk a little bit about Parks and Rec before we even get started. This summer, like always, I go to the concerts, the outdoor summer concerts, and I'll tell you what I see. I see our neighbors talking to neighbors, hugging, laughing, hanging out, and it is so beautiful. I think one of the best parts of Parks and Rec is bringing our residents together and bringing our community together. So I'd like to do the proclamation. Whereas Park and Rec is an integral part of the communities throughout this country, including Northampton Township, Bucks County. Parks and Rec promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks, promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. Park and Rec encourages physical activities by providing space for popular sports, including pickleball, walking trails, a swimming pool, fitness classes for all ages, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyle. Parks and Rec develops programming and educational activities such as a certified preschool, out-of-school time programming, summer camps, youth sports, and environmental education that are critical to childhood development. Parks and Rec provides playgrounds accessible to children of all abilities where everyone can play. Parks and Rec increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. Park and Rec is fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community and is essential and adaptable infrastructure that makes our communities resilient in the face of natural disasters and climate change. Whereas our Park and Rec areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. Whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July, sorry we're a month late, as Parks and Rec Month, and Northampton Township recognizes the benefits derived from Parks and Rec resources. Now, therefore, it shall be resolved by the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors that July or August is recognized as Park and Rec Month in Northampton Township.
Yay. I think she Park and Rec year, though.
Jen?
I just want to say thank you to the Park and Rec Board, not only for being here tonight, but for your support year-round for all the things that come up Park and Rec-wise. And also to the Board of Supervisors, not only for this recognition, but for your support, especially Kim is at every one of our events, but all of you support us so much, and we really appreciate it. And of course, to my fantastic team, who, none of which are here tonight because they worked all day, but we could not do it without all of them. So it's really them we want to thank the most. So that's it.
Good job. John, good to see you again.
Congratulations, Scott. Good to see you. Thank you very much. You guys want to hang down here? So for efficiency, we're not going to all go back up to the dais and then come back down. So I'd like to go on to the next recognition event, which I'll turn over to Mr. Salzer, but we're here to recognize an extraordinary life-saving event that occurred in June in Northampton Township. And I'd also like to ask our state representatives, Marcel and Hogan, to come on up and join us. Kristen, Marcel, and Joe Hogan are here as well. Thank you. Turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So this is a very proud proclamation on behalf of the board and the township in its entirety, recognizing the exemplary response of Tri-Hampton Rescue Squad, Northampton Township Fire Department, and Northampton Township Police Department in the June 29, 2025 near-drowning incident with unit citation. Whereas on the evening of June 29, 2025, emergency responders from Tri-Hampton Rescue Squad, the Northampton Township Fire Department, and the Northampton Township Police Department were dispatched to a reported drowning incident involving a 3-year-old child at a private residence in the Holland section of Northampton Township. And whereas the child was discovered unresponsive in a backyard pool and not breathing, and immediate life-saving efforts by family members and neighbors were quickly supported by the fast arrival of emergency responders. And whereas through coordinated actions, including airway management, breathing support, and ongoing advanced medical care, the child was stabilized, transported to the emergency room, and has since made a full recovery without any discernible deficits. Whereas this incident demonstrates the critical importance of rapid on-scene time, training, teamwork, professionalism, and the seamless coordination among Northampton Township's emergency services. And whereas the Board of Supervisors wishes to formally recognize the dedication, skill, and collaboration of all agencies and individuals involved whose efforts gave this child a second chance at life. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors, on behalf of the residents of Northampton Township, hereby extends its sincere appreciation and commendation to Tri-Hampton Rescue Squad, Chief Jason Dowd, Battalion Chief Jay Colella, Paramedic Stephanie Bishop, Paramedic Roman Coronoy, EMT Alea Loudon, EMT Kyle Kao, the Northampton Township Fire Department, Acting Battalion Chief Joe Gasowski, Lieutenant Andrew Whitmer, firefighter EMT Jake Neanow, firefighter EMT Mike Girardi, firefighter Ryan Johnson, and the Northampton Township Police Department and responding officers for their exemplary service during the June 29, 2025 near-drowning incident and for their continued commitment to protecting the health, safety, and well-being of the residents of Northampton Township, presented this 27th day of August, 2025, on behalf of the Northampton Township Board of Supervisors. We'll review the other one on behalf of the Fire Department. So before I turn it over, I just want to say, first of all, I apologize for any mispronunciations. I did review this beforehand. I did my best. But, you know, there's been a lot of discussion, most of it friendly, about the investment that, well, we made the decision as the Board of Supervisors, you, the residents, made in having a fully staffed department in Holland, the fire stations, and going to full-time paid firemen. This is the return on that investment. This child would not be alive today, no matter how great all of these people are, if they couldn't be there in 2 minutes. But they were, and that's because of the investment the township has made. I don't know that you could possibly have a greater return on investment than the life of this child. So thank you, everybody.
So, good evening, State Senator Frank Ferry. As a longtime first responder, it's always special when I get to recognize colleagues who I know made a significant difference. Some of these folks we actually recognized from a house fire we recently had in Langhorne Borough. So it's good to see these faces again making a difference. I have recognition from the State Senate for you. I'll distribute it after the meeting because I don't want to prolong your meeting. But it's recognizing your heroism and making a difference for that family that they'll never forget. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for choosing this noble career because you're making a difference.
We don't want to prolong your meeting, but the Pennsylvania House members, Joe Hogan and I, would like to just thank you. Thank you for being our community heroes and for always trying to help us. I'm going to try to not cry for today, but reading about this is really remarkable. So I just wanted to thank all of you and to thank all the members, all the first responders. We have citations basically for each department. And so, Joe, if you want to say a few quick words.
I don't want to prolong the meeting either, but I just want to, as a homeowner with a pool and with a young, now 10-month-old daughter, it's absolutely horrifying. But, thank you for serving our community. It helps my wife and I go to sleep easier knowing that there's men and women like you that are willing to train, able, and respond immediately to these types of incidences. So thank you all for everything that you do. And hopefully we never have to recognize you again for this type of event. So thank you.
Well, I couldn't be more proud of this group. There is a little boy that is alive today, fully recovered, because of this giant group. Look at what Northampton threw at making this kid's life happen. Look at all these people. Their selflessness, their skill and professionalism is unmatched by any organizations. We owe you all such a debt of gratitude. And as Supervisor Salzer said, the investment paid off, but more importantly, the system worked. The system of the police, the fire, and EMS working together as a tight-knit cooperative group saved that little boy. And everyone in Northampton should know that everyone will get that level of commitment. What you see behind me is for every resident and visitor of this township all the time. Thank you all very much. I'm going to turn it over to Chief Dowd, but we really appreciate the effort here. This was just such a great outcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of Trihampton Rescue Squad, I would like to thank you for recognizing our providers and our public safety partners during this very difficult incident. I'm also very proud to share that our responding members from Trihampton were also commended by Hantevi, a nationally recognized pediatric resuscitation system that we have adopted, and each member was sent a congratulatory letter along with a Hantevi challenge coin that Battalion Chief Colella will pass out. I understand the theme is not to prolong the meeting anymore, so we're going to do that at the same time. But during this incident, a young child's life was in jeopardy. And what made the difference that evening was the combination of immediate bystander action, rapid response times, and the professionalism of the men and women of the Township Emergency Services. Within just a few minutes, Northampton Fire Department, Police Department, personnel, and multiple EMS units were on scene and working together seamlessly to provide life-saving care. This call demonstrated not only the clinical excellence of our EMTs and paramedics, but also the strength of the interagency teamwork and cooperation that exists here in Northampton Township. Police, fire, EMS, and our dispatch partners at the Bucks County 911 Center all functioned as one unified team with a single mission: to save a child's life. While outcomes in these situations are never guaranteed, the collective effort that evening gave this young boy the best chance possible. And it was a clear example of the system working exactly as it was designed. I'm proud to serve alongside such highly dedicated, skilled providers and professionals, and I thank the Board of Supervisors for their support and ongoing support of public safety in Northampton Township. Thank you.
Real quick, they have support. There's some EMS folks in the back and other fire folks here, so thank you for coming out and supporting your team.
Thank you.
Thanks, get you guys out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Let's move on with the meeting. Boy, what a great story, great ending to that story, which could have just been so different if it wasn't for those guys. There's nobody on the list for public comment for agenda items, so we're going to move right into the approval of minutes. Paula.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, if there are no objections, I request that the minutes of July 23rd be approved by unanimous consent.
Any comments? Thank you, Paula. Accounts payable, Kim?
Yes, I have the bills list for August 13th, 2025. Total all funds, $2,123,410.75. And I also have the bills list for August 27th, 2025. Total all funds, $894,942.74.
Thank you. Kim? Next on this list of consent items is authorization to advertise an ordinance amendment to establish no parking on a portion of Chinquapin Road. That advertisement is for a public meeting on September 17th at 7 p.m. here at the Township Building, and that will be to post no parking from the Buck Road intersection to a point about 500 feet down on Chinquapin Road. So that'll be next month, September 17th, for that meeting. And next is bids for salt. Barry.
Yes, the annual process for bidding salt was awarded to Morton Salt. Came in at $61.86, was the low bidder out of 3 bidders that submitted bids. So we just need to note that was approved.
And next is the minimum municipal obligation for police and non-uniformed pension plans. Barry also.
Sure. On an annual basis, the Township Administration is required to report to the Board of Supervisors and the public that we've calculated from an actuary study the amount of contribution required for 2026 for the police pension plan and the non-uniform plan. The police pension plan was $1,046,445 rather, for the police pension. Non-uniform was $869,777. And then the money purchase pension plan was $363,104. So the total contribution required for the actuary study was $2,079,326 for 2026. That was the total actuary amount. The fortunate news is that the township expects to get a grant from the state for $1,164,000 for the municipal pension fund. So therefore, the actual balance will be included in the budget, about $915,000. So we just need to report that for the record.
Great, thank you, Barry. So if there are no corrections or additions to the consent items, I'll accept a motion to accept them as presented.
I'll second that.
So we have
So moved.
so moved and a second. Thank you very much. Any discussion from the board?
No.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you all. Next up is consider a resolution for a right-of-way and construction easement on Alms House Road. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a project that will impact me personally tremendously. I travel this intersection twice a day, day in and day out, so I do want to highlight this is a PennDOT project. However, as they are finalizing the plans for design and construction, and I'm referencing the roundabout at Alms House and Jacksonville Roads, to accommodate the project, PennDOT does require a right-of-way and temporary construction easement from the township for property that the township owns. So if I may make a motion.
Please.
I move to adopt Resolution R-25-14, authorizing the township manager to execute all documents required by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania for right-of-way acquisition and to grant a temporary construction easement on tax parcel number 31-001-070 for the proposed roundabout project at Alms House and Jacksonville Roads.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Anything further, Bob?
I'm dreading it, but no, nothing further.
Kim, anything?
No.
Paula?
I'm excited. It's going to start in the spring of next year. It'll be great.
Thanks. Barry?
No, I think it's a great thing. I travel this intersection all the time, Alms House and Jacksonville Road, and it always backs up all the time. And the fact that putting a roundabout here is going to make it significantly better. And also, what's nice about this, it's going to be funded by the state, and it should be fully installed sometime spring, summer of 2026.
Right.
So it's going to be a huge traffic improvement for that area, so.
Exactly.
A little bit of pain for some gain, I guess is what we'll call it.
Let's hope.
Bob?
I'm hoping. I think Barry's right, but it's going to be a long year.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, we have an appointment to the Veterans Advisory Commission.
Yes.
Paula?
Okay. I wanted to formally announce that our newly appointed VAC board member is James Gallagher. He's a veteran of 27 years with the Air National Guard, and he's very tickled and excited to be on our board, and we welcome him to the Vet Advisory Commission.
Thanks. Could we have a motion just to formally accept Jim?
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jim Gallagher to the Veterans Advisory Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Anything further, Paula?
No, he's wants to attend, and hopefully he's watching tonight.
Bob?
No, nothing.
Barry?
No, all good.
Thank you.
I think Jim's an excellent choice. I've known Jim for probably close to 45 years. He was a dedicated soldier in the Air Force, I guess, an airman. And
Yes, he was, the Air National Guard, yes.
he loves his country, and I think he'll do a great job with the veterans.
Good.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, move on to liaison reports. Kim?
Yes, first I'm going to start with Parks and Rec. The 2025 NTPR summer season is officially a wrap. We could not have created this memorable summer without our amazing team. We're incredibly proud of our pool and camp staff led by Derek Giannetti, our pool and operations manager, Scott Packman, and Sinead Powers, our camp directors. And the long-awaited return of our Little Discoverers Camp, directed by Barb Primavera. Along with nearly 150 seasonal staff, this team has delivered a summer to remember for nearly 500 campers and 300 swim club members. Thursday nights at Municipal Park were the place to be, thanks to our outstanding concert series, carefully selected and led by our special events coordinator, Kristen Fullerton. These events were made possible by our generous sponsors and the continued support of the Northampton Township Police Department, who provided safety and community outreach at every show. Summer may be winding down, but the Park and Rec Department is geared up for a fun-filled fall and festive end to 2025. Keep an eye out for the fall-winter brochure arriving in mailboxes this week. A sneak peek is already posted at www.northamptonrec.com. Two highlights events I'd like to announce. Our Halloween happening returns on Friday, October 24th, revamped with food trucks, a costume contest, and a showing of the Halloween favorite, Hocus Pocus, at our Municipal Park Amphitheater. And coming this December, our first annual Winterfest on Friday, December 5th. Join us at the Municipal Park for a tree lighting, visit with Santa Claus, food trucks, a hot chocolate station, and a huge outdoor holiday market. For all things Park and Rec, visit www.northamptonrec.com or contact the Park and Rec office. Excuse me, the Senior Center. The AARP Safe Driver course will be offered on Friday, August 29th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is a great opportunity to refresh driving skills, gain knowledge about rules of the road, and save money on your auto insurance. Register at the Senior Center. Have you purchased your Senior Center lottery tickets? The next lottery drawing is on Tuesday, September 2nd. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased at the Senior Center front desk. Only 400 tickets are sold. Great odds to win. Exciting news for pickleball players. Beginning Wednesday, September 3rd, Senior Center members will enjoy exclusive court time on the brand-new pickleball courts at Northampton Township Municipal Park. Play will be held each Wednesday this fall from 8 until 11:30. Advance registration is required, so please call or visit the Senior Center front desk. Spots are limited. Bus trips. Never Too Late, a hilarious comedy about a man in his 50s who suddenly learns he's about to become a father again. September 24th at the Hunterdon Hills Playhouse in Hampton, New Jersey. Take a trip down memory lane on October 8th for a tribute to the Ed Sullivan Show. Join the center on the trip to the Ace in the Hole Club at the Brownstone in Paterson, New Jersey. Contact the center for more information about these exciting trips. Visit the Northampton Valley Country Club on Thursday, September 25th from 10 to 1 for Senator Frank Ferry's Senior Expo. Stop by the Senior Center's table and say hello. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Kim.
Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Paula?
Okay, good. Happy Labor Day, everyone. I'll start with the library. We have our strategic plan in place. The Free Library of Northampton Township and its director, Wayne Lahr, the library board, and all the staff of the library would like to invite we Board of Supervisors to join them tomorrow night, or excuse me, Thursday, September, the Thursday in first Thursday in September at 5 p.m. for the launch of the library's long-awaited new branding and logo, as well as our new website for the library. It's scheduled to go live after 5 p.m., the website. So that is an exciting happening. I also want to talk about the Veterans Advisory Commission. There's a fundraiser to be held at Giuseppe's Restaurant on September 25th for the wreath-laying celebration that happens in December. The fundraiser is, like I said, is September 25th at 6 p.m. There's free beer, free food, and we welcome everyone to come on out and just stop in or spend the evening there. It starts at 6 p.m. Okay, I also want to to announce that we finally, once again, got the Veterans Purple Heart sign back in our township parking lot. It was taken down in order to pave our parking lot. There's a spot that acknowledges all the Purple Heart Medal recipients. So the actual pavement has been striped purple to identify this space. So that was a long time coming, and I wanted to let everybody know, thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Paula. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Time for my monthly so-called PFAS update, although this evening I'm actually going to farm it out to you. There was a phone call regarding what we call Phase 3 of the project that I was unable to participate in, and I know Chairman Salsker did, so if you want to inform everyone as to what was stated on the call.
Sure, happy to give an update. So I did participate in the Navy public meeting, and it was specifically around the PFAS contamination in Northampton Township. It was a couple weeks ago. And I did speak on behalf of our residents, and I wanted to make it clear that, that we needed some additional action. The two issues that I spoke on were, one, everybody knows that they're looking at this magic 12 part per trillion level that initiates them putting public water into your house as long as they're going to put public water out in the street. And when I was out talking to residents, there's a lot of folks that are just under 12. 11.6, 11.9. And of course, they're very concerned that they've only been tested once, and they're very close to the threshold, and they want public water. So I did ask the Navy about that and asked them to reconsider those levels that are very close to the threshold, and they did say that they would. They would go back out and retest those houses to see if they have gone up to that level or gone over the 12 part per trillion level, and if that's the case, it is likely they would get public water. The other issue that I spoke about was pressing them, which we have been doing not in a public meeting because they don't always have public meetings, but pressing them into enlarging Phase 3 area to get more of our streets and neighborhoods public water. Specifically, I was asking about streets of Hollyknoll, Magnolia, Wisteria, that particular area. I don't know, I'm not sure how many houses there are exactly, but I asked them publicly to tell us where they were on that. They did say, and I'm happy to report, that they will amend the Phase 3 agreement and add those streets in for public water. So it's a great outcome for those folks. So there will be another, I'm going to say, 100 houses added to the list of already growing houses that will get public water. If you happen to live in those streets and you're watching this meeting and you have questions, contact the Water Authority. They can give you details, or contact Jonathan Harris at the Navy. And, you know, he can give you more details about the timing. I don't know the timing on that, but they did publicly commit to that. And I specifically asked him if I can publicly commit to that as well. And he did it in a public meeting, so he said yes. So that was a really good outcome to the meeting. The meeting was about an hour and a half. Some other folks spoke. There was one gentleman who spoke and did publicly thank Northampton Township for all of us, for our work that we've done to help kind of keep this alive and advocating for our residents. So that was really, it was nice to hear that. That's all I had on that.
Thank you for
Thanks.
covering that, and I would mention, and I know we've all been consistent in this, the 12 parts per trillion threshold is at best seemingly arbitrary. So while that's their threshold, I don't know that we've ever seen any data to demonstrate that it means anything other than they've pulled that number out of you-know-what.
Yeah, and the EPA number is 4, so that's a difficult conversation to have, but they only have to act on 12, and we'll have to see where that level goes in the future. You know, if you don't, one thing we did learn, if you don't take the water, if you're eligible and don't take it now, it is possible to get it later, but it would take a long time to get it through the Navy. You're not excluded from getting it, but you have to wait till the next round of funding, and that could take a while. So I think residents should really think hard if they don't want to take the public water as it's offered when it comes through this time around.
I'm glad we've all kept that pressure on, and we'll continue to do so. I don't have any other further reports this evening, although if I may, I wanted to just take a few seconds to say something about the person who was referenced in the moment of silence, Township resident Alan Rubenstein. I did not have the pleasure of working for Judge Rubenstein when I was a prosecutor. He had already moved to the bench by the time I started my career, but I got to spend about 20 years practicing in front of him, and what a great guy. Great jurist, great sense of humor. Not always the best at facial management. He'd look at you sometimes when a witness said something ridiculous and wink or roll his eyes just to make you laugh. He was just such a pleasure, and I found out about his passing on Friday night and was going back and forth by text with some other former DAs and people who knew him well, and I think my one friend said it best. He really lived a full life. So he was a great guy, and Ruby, as we all call him, will be very much missed by the legal community in Bucks County and by this township. That's all I have.
Thanks for those comments, Bob. Barry?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So from a planning and zoning standpoint, there's a number of developments starting in the town. There was a 12-lot subdivision that was approved by the zoning hearing board on Twining Road. That was a current day camp, and that's going through the process now, so we're going to see that before the planning commission. And then we also have now Bucks County Roses. People know about that. That's been kicking around for a while. That process is moving along, getting through the administrative parts of that, but that should be construction fairly soon. The same thing with the Mill Race Inn. That was approved and through land development, and that's just doing some administrative work, so we should see some progress there. Two new subdivisions have come in under review, though. One is Russell Gardens on New Road in town. So Russell Gardens, a new road. There's a subdivision there for 18 lots. So new house is going to be built there. That's being proposed. We still have to go through the process of going through planning and zoning and all the other things. So I would think that probably next year we'll see that activity, but that's 18 lots. And then 420 Ford Road, there's a proposal for a 6-lot subdivision there. And that's going to be presented to the Planning Commission, things like that. So there's a lot of land up there, and we haven't seen too much of the details on it, but I want to give everybody a heads up that that's coming down the pipeline. A couple other things I just want to mention, just from a public safety standpoint, and I'm a big cyclist. I love riding my bike all the time. Of course, I always wear a helmet, things like that. But I do have a great concern. I'm seeing a lot of people, especially young children, riding these bicycles, whether it be scooters or bicycles. Some are electric, some non-electric. Many of the children don't have helmets on, and they're driving through parking lots, things like that. And I would just, as a parent of 4 and 7 grandkids, as I mentioned before, I just encourage all parents and all people in our community to make people aware of the fact that you have to be safe when you're on these things. You have to be very safe about it. I know the police is talking about coming up with an ordinance to, have some tools that we can enforce it. But something that we really need to communicate with the kids to make sure the kids are safe. The basics of having a helmet. That's so simple, but so important to have. The other thing, too, is just riding on the right side of the road. So many times I see children coming at me on the wrong side of the road. It's crazy. And I'm not just saying, quiet roads. I'm seeing 2nd Street Pike. And you'll see, 3 or 4 bikes together, and sometimes you have 2 or 3 kids on the same bike. It's crazy. So we just need to increase our awareness. I know the police department's aware of it. They're coming out with a new ordinance to have more protection on that. But just basic safety we need to be aware of. The other thing I'll just mention, too, and I think people have heard about it in some of the Facebook accounts, is that there's been a number of break-ins in cars lately. And a lot of cars, people leave their car outside in the driveway, think it's safe, and then people are opening the door and taking the contents out of the car and stealing things from it. So we've had a couple cases like that. We've also had some cases of houses that were left unlocked, and people went inside the houses and took things. So just once again, as an awareness, I think people need to be aware of the fact that, you have to lock your car. It's a very simple concept, but lock your car, and also make sure that all your doors to your house are locked. I know the police is involved with this. I know the police are increased patrols in certain neighborhoods to monitor the situation. And I've heard recently they picked up a couple of individuals that they caught doing this stuff. But, just a common sense thing, lock your car, lock your house, and then for bike safety, I would encourage that for everybody. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Barry. As you brought up the bike safety, if everybody recalls, we had a few pieces in the newsletter that we sent out, the township newsletter, about these bikes on electric bikes. And I leaned over to Bob. Based on your comment, I think we'll get a bike safety message up on all the signs in the township tomorrow.
Yeah, we just have to.
Yeah,
It's
just reminding everybody,
Yeah.
where is your helmet? Essentially,
yeah.
wear your helmet, that kind of thing. So that's a
It's
really good idea.
kind of silly. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, is that in the state of Pennsylvania, you do not have to wear a helmet if you have a motorcycle. virtually every state in the country requires a helmet. And I rode a motorcycle, and, you know, I always wear a helmet. But for whatever reason, there's a law in Pennsylvania that says you don't have to wear a helmet, and I just don't agree with that at all.
Start, only because I think you should talk to the insurance lobbyists for that. They'd rather you be dead than a vegetable that they have to pay for.
Well, that's an unusual comment. I'm not
Okay.
going to comment on that, Bob, but, you know, all I'm saying, you know, I can't comment on that, but all I can say is that, you know, wearing a helmet is just critically important. And if I had a motorcycle for a bunch of years and enjoyed it with my children and things like that, but even no matter how safe you are on a motorcycle, it's the drivers that are not paying attention. They're on their iPhones or doing other things. So, and the insurance lobby, I don't care about that. I just care about the safety of our people. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Barry. I have a few things for tonight. Just a heads up, Fire Prevention Night, believe it or not, it's coming around the corner. It's in October. It'll be October 10th. All 3 stations will be open Friday evening that week from 7 to 9 o'clock. We seem to have our most successful fire prevention programs when we do it the Friday night of Fire Prevention Week. So it's been some time since we were able to do that, and we're going to go back to that starting this year. Some other information. The fire department received a $14,000 grant from the state fire commissioner, and that money is going to be used specifically for water rescue equipment. Unfortunately, we have some serious flooding in this area, and when it does occur, some people get stuck, some people drive through moving water when they should not, and it's a very dangerous rescue for the emergency service personnel, and this $14,000 grant will get us some new and specialized equipment to help make it safer for us to rescue people in floods. And we are prone to flooding in this area. Also, I don't know if you saw yesterday, it was advertised that we had a combination police department, fire department, emergency medical services training exercise yesterday. It was all day. It was a training exercise and certification, and it was all revolved around school safety. We had a very, very intensive day at the old Richboro Middle School yesterday, training and practicing for all kinds of events, as you can probably think of. And it was really a great day for everybody because everybody knew they were working hard for our children's safety. That's what it was all about. It was 30 of us there, including me. I participated. And we have now an enormous amount of certified rescue people for school type of incidents. And I think you probably can think of the kind of incidents that you could have in a school. In order to outfit our folks, we're expecting, Senator Ferry was here earlier, but Senator Ferry was able to get us a $26,000 grant to get the equipment we need for that. So we got 2 really nice upgrades in service and grant money to pay for both, the water rescue stuff and the safety equipment for the tactical stuff that we trained for yesterday. So all good all around. And I just wanted to just end by saying thank you to everybody that supported the board here, our emergency services workers here. Of course, I'm always biased, but I could see that, you know, the look on their face, they don't do it for the recognition, they never do, but they do appreciate being called out. And I don't know if you saw, there were many family members here to see their loved one who was part of that rescue team get an award. So it is important that we recognize those folks. So thank you, everybody. It's here in the public as well as up here for the support of that. And with that, I'll change to the manager's report.
Just one item this evening. Our office has received some expressed resident concerns about the condition of Robert Dembowski Memorial Park. We will be addressing those concerns through some tree trimming, some shrubbery trimming, and some cleanup. Remind everyone that after the holiday, we will be closing down the fountains. If you haven't noticed, there is a portion of the fountain that is not operational. That's because of a burned out pump. We did not want to replace that pump. First of all, they take some time to get, and then to replace them and shut it down didn't make sense. So we're going to do that work over the winter time so that it will be ready in the spring. That's all I have.
Thank you, Bob. Assistant Manager Bill.
Good evening. I have two things to report on tonight. The Buck Road project in Holland, the road closure has shifted a little bit. It'll be September 15th, has been confirmed. So that road will be officially closed for through traffic for 3 months. The detour route is posted on our website. We encourage everyone to sign up to get updates. As we get updates from the authority and from PennDOT, we will certainly push that information out. The second item is just a reminder that next week is Labor Day, and all trash collection will be pushed back one day. So if whatever your normal trash day is next week, you push it one day to the next to accommodate the holiday. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Solicitor's report. Joe, hello.
Yes, thank you. The minutes of the meeting should reflect that the Board of Supervisors met in an executive session immediately prior to this evening's meeting. Present for the executive session were the 5 members of the Board of Supervisors, the Township Manager, the Assistant Township Manager, and me. The matter discussed was a matter of personnel. No official action was taken during the executive session, and no official action was necessary at this evening's meeting as a result of that executive session. Because of the length of the discussion, it will be necessary for the supervisors to go back into executive session immediately after this meeting to discuss a second matter of personnel and also a matter of pending litigation. No official action will be taken during that executive session, and no official action will be required as a result of the items discussed during that executive session. Other than that, I hope that everyone enjoys their Labor Day celebrations this weekend.
Thank you, Joe. Sitting in for Amanda, Jacob.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
So I just have a quick, I want to give a quick report. So last week, the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection visited the township to conduct an inspection of the township's municipal separate storm sewer system, MS4 permit. So DEP reviewed that township's annual report, and we completed several site visits, including the public works facilities and 2 of the basin retrofit projects that the township has completed. A final inspection report was received, and it did identify some minor clarifications in the report that needs to be addressed this year, but overall there were no violations noted, and the township got a clean bill of health for the MS4. So we are working on that next annual report, which is due September 30th, and that's all I have.
And I know everybody's wondering, Amanda and her husband welcomed Owen Anthony into the
Correct.
world recently. She, Dad, and baby are all doing very well. But, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, public comment. First up, Rosemarie.
Since we're going to have an extended meeting, I came prepared. Can you
Thank you. If you just say your name again, actually, you can turn that microphone around. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, you know me. I'm Rosemary Ricardo. I'm going to give you some handouts. I'm still having creek issues. Bob was good enough to call me back, but I was out in the creek. It's really getting worse, okay? I had Karen Ogden from the Water Conservation or Watershed Committee. This is her report. Amanda was with us on our little tour of the creek. She's a trooper. That girl was heavily pregnant. She was a trooper. She did better than most men. I took point and Karen took rear. We got this girl through there, and I was waiting to deliver that baby along the creek. But anyway, it's still a mess. I have been petitioning my neighbors continuously. I even hand-delivered copies of this report, and no one could really, excuse me, give a rat's ass. They're not cleaning up. This report indicates that I should get a volunteer group together. Yeah, right. I pay for my section to be cleared. I get professional people in. So I'm done with that. I'm done on knocking in doors and begging my neighbors to be good neighbors. They're slobs. I hope everybody hears this. Watch the TV. You're pigs. All right. So now my situation is I'm at the head of this tributary that runs into Ironworks Creek. I have to go find that soon. The water is coming off of the soccer field. It's making 3 more tributaries coming in to where I am. I had my tree people come out. I have to cut down 3 trees because the roots are completely eroded. And the tree's gonna fall. I have a detached garage there. It was my 25th wedding anniversary present from my husband. That was about 27 years ago. When we got the permits to build, I had 12-foot easement. I am now down to 8 feet, which is mentioned in here. And this tree, one of the trees that has to be removed, it's gonna fall on that garage because the roots are just washed out. And then there's another tree across from that I'm gonna get cut down at the same time because that will fall in the garage too. Because that's where there's another little river forming. So, my answer to all this, I called the EPA. They're supposed to come out. I spoke to a young man called Xavier Luciani, and he is going to look into this. Roberto, he fits right in with us. Rosa Maria Ricardo, Roberto Perugino, Xavier Luciani, we're good. So anyhow, thus the cream puffs. I'm not happy about spending thousands of dollars for other people's neglect. So I'm going to tell you all right now. My daddy was an operating engineer, and he taught me how to run heavy equipment. I am going to rent my own equipment, and I am going to put in my own walls. So let's see what we do there. By the time you all get to me, it's going to be 10 years. I'm going to be dead. Somebody else is going to live there because it's taken you this long to do anything about this creek. It's awful, awful, and nobody is doing anything, but I am. Okay, kids, have good cream puffs and understand that's a token, and I just want you to remember, I am not a cream puff. I can run heavy equipment.
Thank you, Mrs. Ricard. Oh, good to know. Thank you. I'll share this with everybody. Thank you. Next up, Joe Lombardo. Just say your name for the record, and you're a resident.
Yes, Joe Lombardo, Holland. Thank you. I'm sorry I have no gifts, but tough act to follow there, Rosemary.
You should have brought the espresso. I'll get in touch with you next time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No explosives, though. As you know, I ref basketball with the Council Rock Basketball Association. We had our finals games in the Summer League recently at the new park, and the games went very, very well. The final games are playoffs, and playoffs get a little bit more intense. And during 2 of the playoffs, we had, thank God, minor incidents with kids getting hurt a little bit. The reason they got hurt was, as you know, like I said, the playoffs get a little bit more intense, and 1 or 2 of the kids got knocked into the basket extensions that happen to be, they are not covered with any cover there. There's covers up at the Council Rock Civic Center. There's covers at the courts at the Council Rock South. And it protects it because those are big metal extensions, and these kids get it. Now, thank God they hit their backs and not their head. So when that happened, I happened to be reffing both the games. So maybe it was my reffing. I hope not. But I know a couple of people here have grandkids or kids or grandkids that play in the Summer League. I think Barry does. I saw Barry there. So, but in all honesty, I'm really worried. I was worried about the health, safety, and welfare for all the kids and their families, because obviously as soon as that happens, you hear, ooh, everybody kind of gets worried about it. And like I said, it was a back situation, not head, but I just think that if there's any chance that you could get these coverings, these soft coverings that go around the point, that would be a big help going forward, because we do have them at other courts. And, if you need any help, I know a lot of I happen to have a lot of contacts with companies like Everest, who are a boxing company, Nike, other companies that would love to put their logo or name on that thing, just as a thought. If you have a problem, if you're not, that's fine. And of course, I think I came here last time and I asked about the fence, so I just want to remind you, if that fence can still be put up, that would be a big help retrieving the ball. So that's all I wanted to say. I do want to make one other thing. I was going to do a little shout out to Kristen, even though Dr. Rose, you did mention Kristen. She did a great job with the concerts. The concerts were great, really fantastic. I attended some. I know other people did. I know a lot of people that I know attended them, and they're really, really great. And Kristen did a great job of getting the food trucks there this year, which were great. I happen to be a personal favorite of the Kona pizza truck. Sorry about that, but personal favorite for that one. And I also told her that I think there's a lot of other things we can do to make this thing bigger and better, because it's growing every time. I've been, a couple of years now, I've been going there, and it's growing and getting bigger. And I think there's more we can do, because that's a great event with that whole new park and with the basketball and the pickleball, which is very successful. So thank you. Have a good Labor Day all. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Ed, Mayor? Just your name again for the record.
Ed Mayer from Churchville.
Thank you.
Good evening. Just a couple quick comments. One, under the heading of it's so obvious it's overlooked. Supervisor Moore mentioned bicycle helmets, right? That's so obvious that apparently it's overlooked. Supervisor, Mr. Chairman, mentioned don't drown, turn around. In flooding situations. And I had the pleasure of meeting briefly with Lieutenant Egan, and he was talking about car thefts and people entering cars, as Supervisor Moore mentioned, that are unlocked. And in part of that story that he was telling, he mentioned that there's a trend where people leave their keys in their car. So again, under the so obvious it's overlooked, if your keys are in your car and your car somehow gets stolen, you might want to think about not leaving your keys in the car. That's all. I thought it was a remarkable piece of advice that he gave. In the category of the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement, I would just ask the supervisors to please consider, and perhaps you already are, or the township manager and assistant township manager, but the situation that's been created at Crossroads Plaza and 2nd Street Pike is becoming increasingly more difficult to navigate by automobile. The brickwork that was originally installed is just about buried now, well into the road surface, creating multiple potholes, and a situation now where you can actually see people swerving to get out of that or get around that, and it's getting a little bit dangerous, which is kind of ironic since we just finishing up the work, a few hundred yards down the road, welcoming people to Richboro at the Iron Creek area where we put the new sidewalks in, and finishing up the sidewalk by Rita. So if you get a chance, just please take a look at that intersection. I'm not talking about the pothole by the Wells Fargo Bank that's been there for 12 years that gets refilled every year. I'm specifically talking about the brickwork right at the intersection of Crossroads Plaza and 2nd Street Pike. If you would take a look at that, that would be outstanding. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Ed. Can I just ask you a question? You mean is the brick crosswalk in the road? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, which has led to...
Okay, I got you. I just
basically,
want to make sure I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Thanks. Thank you. There are no other public comments. With no other business, the meeting is adjourned. Good night, everybody. Happy Labor Day.